and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
I'll tell you. For me to listen.
Never say never, though.
Classified this stock as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of the plague-stricken pigs.
She smiles contemptuously.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
Come on, please, Losa. A no doesn't become a yes over time, you know.
Classified this stock as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken I've never dined on anything less than a dozen pigs, and I don't. Clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
It was one of them. I know it.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Shut up.
You think me mad?
Mad. Insufferable.
Trying to hear anyway.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
Seems to me you should be a little more afraid. There's a killer about, after all.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger.
It was one of them. I know it.
Put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that.
You faring okay so far?
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
I'm glad to hear it.
Just skipped to the part when I reassure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
Mad. Insufferable. Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Never thought you'd end up a prison.
Keep those bubbles trained on her.
Standing at the centre of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella.
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer. Go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Mask. She stole it. If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them. She doesn't stir. The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Not the final dark. Not yet.
It's no use. Your words do not...
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, his eyes flicker open, but he...
Lucien. Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way. Long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Gods! By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his
Another sorcerer! Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Saw it coming, I did. Sorcerer mutiny. Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay there.
need to get off this wreck. Quick. Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull. More. I need to get off this ship. That means there's still a chance.
That kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait. Void woken.
Beardless bugs would sink the ship on my watch. I'll yield to none.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph.
I've faced worse.
Is about to burst.
Away! The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
I hear something. It's Magister C1. The one who put on this damn collar. Sounds like she needs help.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan.
Ripping the ship apart!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Well, that was decidedly unpleasant. Am I the lone survivor? Depending on one's definition of survivor, of course. Garbage. Ah, Brachus Rex. I've read his history. Quite gruesome, even for a human.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his...
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? I guess. Well, the people who put me here are human, and the people who took my parents away are human. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting, but you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That you'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore. These bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
You spot a strange lizard. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck. Returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my
nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned... Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite so...
He sighs, dramatic.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap again.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Taker. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's... Fine. I on one... For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. Oh, my word. How you do... Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold... So, now that that's settled, first, even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. onward...
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as well.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, its eyes clear.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
I don't think I ain't watching.
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh face. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house. Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then. I'm sure the Reds told you. No one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets. To be sure, Chief. Pay up and you get to keep your eyes. Sounds pretty satisfying, doesn't it? Go on then. Whatever pennies you've got in your pocket ain't worth my breath. But don't you go telling Griff I was soft on you. Don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
Irma? Where are you, darling? Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. She was here. I only turned... I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken. And it's time.
She soaks up a steady
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. You are an angel.
A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya? Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cooker, that one, and twice as loud. What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after has been dead and buried a month over. Killed by a... And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
She's gone, Farah. Gone!
Come on then, Lexi. Hey up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble. This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's it.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you.
The elf smiles and...
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Ivan rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours.
Suit yourself. Probably wise. Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place? The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in 2 heads are better than 1. And when push comes to shove, 4 fists.
He grins, sharp.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods.
Right you are.
Bolted on there tight, ain't it?
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove like...
And what you after? Come again? You another friend of Niles? I told that Magister freak to get back to his little dungeon in the... Now get the hell out of my face!
Leave me. Go. Get away. Get back. At least wait till I've croaked my last.
She groans in... Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too. She was the one who sat rolling dice, and her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away. And you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into one of your neck's vertebrae.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, so I can decide your fate here and now. I see. It does so...
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needles, despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship.
Let me tell you, once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this thing, but now I'm free. Of sorts, I intend to raise the subject with him. No!
She drives the needle in.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him. That makes you a liability.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not... Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape. How you do tickle me. Most... well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull? You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
You don't say. How very interesting. One can't but wonder what memories haunt. This may strike you as, rather eccentric.
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you almost mockingly. You can't help but contemplate with both dread and delight the absolute darkness at the heart of her cat's eyes.
Yes, this will be jolly good fun. Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide-and-seek. So, what role? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or magic. So, the choice is yours. Suits me fine. Then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity.
So, this is Fort Joy.
Surely you'll have one.
What a crumbling disaster.
Don't tell anyone where you got this.
Snake face.
Keep it down, will ya?
Hmm? Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm very tired.
Reading dwarves didn't eat so much.
Excuse me, ever so tired.
Hey, you're a little light in your pack, ain't you, mate? Who can blame you with the garbage they got? Why don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Stuff you won't find anywhere else in camp. Procured by special means. Only the finest, you know.
Ain't fit for beasts. Ain't fit for beasts.
Mind your manners round Griff, eh?
Leave it, Sam. I won't say it again.
Come on, chap. Don't be unreasonable. Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're acting like a mad...
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife...
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer.
She never did like you.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin. Bloody...
Don't feel too bad. Fella had no decency. If you don't have that, you don't have anything to live for.
He nods at you and turns back to his handiwork.
Not an attempt, mate. Not if I can bloody help it. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
appeal to none. Wouldn't know a thing about you and I, Gritty.
Cornered.
I need aid!
Reveal yourself!
she ain't coming back.
Where is he?